Hello, it's me, Future Ryan. Thank you so much for downloading this episode of Seldom Differs Terrible Features, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this week's guest. This week's guest is Jack Barry. He's a comedian, he's a writer, he's an actor, and he's an all-round lovely guy. He was so funny and warm and really just got into the spirit of the podcast, I would say. So it's a really fun episode. You may recognise Jack from Mae Martin's Feel Good. He's also been in Catastrophe, The Russell Howard Hour, Cuckoo, Dad's Army The Lost Episodes, Elevenish, and Turn Up Charlie on Netflix, as well as having written for Mock the Week and supported people like James Acaster, Joe Lycett, Marc Maron, and Russell Howard on tour. Also, if you're sort of not sure who Jack is and you look him up and you go, where do I know him from? Where do I know him from? I know his face. It might be from Crisps, because he was actually the face of and the face on McCoys Crisps for a few years ago. So it might be that's triggering your memory. Now, before we started recording the podcast, I actually asked Jack, is there anything you want to plug, anything you've got coming up? And he started talking about his role in Mae Martin's Feel Good in Series 2 that's coming out soon. And it actually turned into quite a fun little chat. So I thought I'd just put that in now, and it gives you guys a peek behind the curtain, a little bit of I wonder what they talk about just before the episode starts. And it's this, because luckily we were recording it. So just to set this up, I just asked Jack, have you got anything coming up soon that you want me to mention? And then after the fun little chat we have, the official episode starts in about 2 minutes' time. So yeah, enjoy. Thanks.
There's not a huge amount. I'm in a TV show that's coming out in March.
That's pretty
That's
good.
like the only fun thing. Yeah.
Have you finished filming for?
For Feel Good. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that just before Christmas. So that finished. At the end of December.
I loved that
Nice.
first series. It's so good.
And I'm in it a bit more in the second series, which is nice.
Well, it's bloody deserved as well.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I hope it will be all right. It's coming out in March. It's like the only thing that I've got going on, but it's something.
That's a great thing.
Was it much prep having to be a stand-up comedian?
Yeah, who's called Jack Barry.
Right.
And,
is that his actual character name?
Yeah, the character name's Jack Barry, and he wears a suit covered in weed leaves on stage, because that was what I had in one of my shows.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It would have been annoying if you didn't get the part, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I did have to audition for it as well. They were like, the execs at Netflix have to just make sure you're not a prick, basically. So I had to go in, and I was like, if I don't get this, I really need to rethink my career choices.
They would have had to change the name, surely, if they give it to someone else. Would have been.
I was like, you seeing other people for this? Because I'd love to know what they're doing with it.
That would be soul destroying, wouldn't it? If you couldn't get you in a show.
They were like, we just don't think you're very good as the comedian Jack Barry.
Yeah, we don't think you're right for you.
Yeah. We got this other guy who's from RADA, who's much better at being you than you are. So, sorry.
He's really hot. He's a really hot guy.
Really hot shit. Yeah. He's got a hairline that's here, and he's just really good.
Massive knob.
It's all good stuff. I hate these chats beforehand because you go, this is good content.
At least we're recording.
It's a good point. Shall we start?
Yes.
Lovely. Can't wait.
So this is an article from ArtNet News, and it says, archaeologists in southern Russia have unearthed what they deduced to be two 2,400-year-old pure gold bongs.
What?
Yeah, they found these bongs. Andrea Belinsky discovered the ornate drug kit in a buried chamber covered in clay and lined with stones in 2013. Criminologists analysed the bongs and discovered thick layers of cannabis and opium residue.
Amazing.
I know. Expert. Wow. So this is 2,400 years old, this golden bong.
Right, BC we're talking. I suppose.
Yes, yeah.
Whereabouts was it?
It was in southern Russia.
Nice.
They found it, and they said, these analysts came in, there were thick layers of cannabis and opium residue. Experts were then called in, and they revealed that the items belonged to the Scythians, nomadic warriors who controlled large parts of Europe and Asia from the 9th century BC to the 4th century AD. Now, legend has it that the nomadic Iranian tribe smoked cannabis and opium in order to alter their state of mind before going into battle.
Bloody hell.
Now, I don't think that's the drug of choice for me going into battle. I suppose my question is, what would your drug of choice be if you were to go into battle?
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. Why would you want to go into battle paranoid and hungry?
And sleepy. And just
exactly.
Just really mellow.
It wouldn't, it's not going to get you fired up, that, is it? To run into men running towards you.
Maybe they were like a pacifist tribe and they just did it whenever they were thinking about doing a battle. They were like...
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? I think we're getting carried away here. Let's just chill out.
Yeah.
It's not going to seem so bad.
It's a good way to hold a peace treaty, isn't it? Just smoke a spliff.
But that'd be the problem. I'd think you'd get, as you run towards them and it was kicking in, you'd feel a bit more relaxed and like, we don't have to do this.
We're just terrified,
Kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, the paranoia.
Just start attacking the guy behind you.
Yeah.
For me, go on, John.
Sorry, I was going to say, the Viking berserkers.
Yes.
They used to drink heavy amounts, and I think the name means
sorry, John. For the people who don't know who the Viking berserkers are, they're the giant men of the.
Well, they're just people who would, I think. No, they're like. I think the name means like bearskins, and what it would mean is like you would go feral basically and put on the skins of an animal that you wanted to become basically. Take a load of magic mushrooms, drink loads and loads, go nuts, and then they just let you loose on the enemy. And
it's like a concoction of nightshade, wasn't it? Which I think is poisonous if you have too much of it, and it basically sent them into like a killer frenzy.
Exactly.
See, that makes more sense to me than smoking weed before a battle.
Yeah.
And opium. I can imagine large quantities of like cocaine or something that's going to fire you up.
It's like the old stoner cliche, isn't it? It's like, oh man, if all the world leaders just smoke some weed, then like, it happens in Ali G in the House, doesn't it? When he puts weed in the tea for all like the world leaders. And he's like, whenever you take magic mushrooms, you're like, man, if Netanyahu took this, there's no way he'd want to shit on the Palestinians, man.
Booze is probably... I don't particularly... I mean, there's probably been times where I've felt maybe levels of violence while being drunk, but booze seems to be the most like... More fights happen through booze, don't they?
It's going to give you confidence to fight, booze, I suppose. Whether it's a good... If your opponent's completely sober in that battle, whether it's a good thing, I don't know, but it'll certainly egg you on in the way.
It's getting a perfect level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like when you're playing pool or you're going bowling.
Yeah,
it's like a couple of beers make you better, but like too many, and then you're over the edge and you're no good.
Yeah, it's good to sort of drink some pints, maybe 3, 4, but then have a big break, like go on a big journey, maybe get a bus journey somewhere, arrive at the party.
To the battlefield.
Have a bit, and then you're just absolutely on form, pool-wise, chat-wise, and maybe even battle-wise.
Yeah,
These are probably discussions that tribe would have.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, do you know what? I think I had a bit too much opium before that last battle. And it pushed me over the edge. If I just had a bit before and then I just journeyed there and then it was battle time, I think I would have been really good.
I think that last one was needless. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it was cocaine. It's like, gives you confidence and makes you sort of think you're fantastic. But then do you care about your fellow battlers, or are you very selfish in that? With that particular drug,
What was it? Was it bath salts where that guy tried to eat someone?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, is that literal? This is what I've always got confused with bath salts. So is that like a slang term for a certain drug, or is it literally talking about bath salts?
Can you get them from Lush, for example?
Yeah. I think it's like residue, isn't it? It's like a mixture of stuff. It's like
right.
It's like meth. but it's
Right,
not pure meth.
It's like what's left over in the tank when they've emptied it.
Yeah, it's like meth dregs, I think. Yeah.
Oof.
And
Maybe
meth
spice.
dregs is not as good a name. It's not as sellable, is it?
No.
See, when I was a kid, my nan used to call spice. That was like a bag of sweets.
Yeah, spice.
Bag of spice. But now it seems like a really bad high. I've only seen bad highs from spice. How is that addictive?
It makes you think of the Spice Girls in a completely different way, doesn't it? You imagine like this women's prison full of Spice Girls.
Just like comatose TikTokers.
Bleeding most of them, it looks at it. Well, there you go. What drug would you take to battle? And also, I suppose it depends on the battle, because in my head I'm thinking, well, for them it was, what was that, nomadic battle, so that's going to be swords, John?
You probably all line up in a big row with your like sword and maybe a shield, and they just run at each other. It sounds devastating.
When I've seen it in the films, that seems to be what happens. Yeah. It's, the organisation always blows my mind with things like, we're going to have a battle on this field at this time. We're all going to meet. We're all going to like sort of gather before and hang out for a bit. But, like in Braveheart before a battle commences.
Yeah.
It always like surprises me. Does that really happen?
It always surprises me how they all know when to go.
Yeah.
Because there's like a guy at the front who's giving like a rousing speech. Surely only the 30 or so blokes next to him are getting anything out of that.
It's true.
The other guy's like, the other guy's down the line and like, he's saying something, I don't know. Oh, he's gone. Let's go.
We're going.
Yeah. And then there's like 10 blokes who are like, fuck me, that was a good speech. I'm really going to fight my arse off. And the others are just like,
it's true. It must be, there must be like a long, like if at a gig, a band will finish and then you see like the fans of the other band will get to the front. And then they're there for like an hour or so and people slowly start coming in. Like you said, for a battle, everyone's not turning up at the same time on time. So you'll be sat there and you can see across the field the other guys just slowly forming up.
Doing the same thing,
It's terrifying.
And also, like, in a way, it's almost the opposite is going to see your favourite band, isn't it? You kind of don't want to get to the front. You want to surely loiter around. And maybe, I'll hold off. I'll probably make be fashionably late. That's my style at the battle,
You don't want to be in the mosh.
No,
and still say I was there.
Have you heard that thing about how? Do you know the like war elephants that were used? Hannibal and his war elephants, the general Hannibal. Apparently, the way they combated that was they used to cover a pig in oil and set it on fire and just send it out of the ranks
send it running
towards the elephant, and the elephants would be like, "Fuck it out," and the elephants would just freak out.
They'll just shit the elephant up.
Yeah.
The elephant just loved the smell of bacon and got distracted.
It is creative, isn't it? It's horrible, but it is creative, to be fair to
How can we combat these elephants?
Yeah, pigs. Just like, what animal is best for fighting what animal?
Yeah.
It's like the other army have got loads of rats, but luckily we've got a pack of cats that we're going to set on them.
Set them on fire and set the cats on fire.
That's the thing. That's the only one you heard about, the pigs making it to the final auditions and getting through because it works. But what other things did they try before they got to the pigs?
Yeah, they just set fire to a load of snakes and they're like, it's not fucking working.
I've just stayed still and died.
Yeah, and the elephants still ripped us to shit.
Fire ants, they're already on fire. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. Particularly our very special guest today, Jack Barry. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you.
And,
thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Not a problem. Of course, good old-fashioned Ryan Howes, who, if he had to, would probably go for cocaine if he was faced at a battle.
Yeah, if I had to, yeah.
And, of course, Sir John Patrick there, who seems slightly undecisive in terms of what drug he would be off his nut on in battle.
Magic mushrooms and loads of high strength, like Stella, basically. Just Stella, actually.
I don't know why Stella just reminded me of Richie Rich. Richie Rich is on Netflix now. I don't know if you know.
Genuinely watched it a week ago. I watched it last Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
So you know you're Richie Rich then, do you think?
Yeah, I was actually surprised how many of the lines I could remember. I was really obsessed with it when I was a kid, yeah.
So, Jack Barry thinks he knows it all about Richie Rich the film. Well, it's time to play the Richie Rich Quiz.
How rich can you get? You're never gonna know till you've met. This young boy, Richie Rich is his name. He's written up in the Rich Hall of Fame. His bank account is as rich as his name. That's Rich, Richie Rich.
The Richie Rich Quiz.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you ready, Jack?
1.
Yeah, I'm ready. I couldn't have prepared for this any better.
What occasion did Richie receive his very own roller coaster?
Christ. Oh,
Quicker,
no,
quicker.
I don't know. His
Have a guess.
birthday, 10th
His
birthday.
What is the name of the insane contraption that launches kids through the air?
The Kidapole.
Great. What's the computer program used to locate Richie's dad? Is it Dadlink, Dad Locator, Dad Find, or where'smedad.com?
Dadlink.
He's got him. Great.
Question number 4. What does Richie's dad use when he's stranded to fix the computer that helps Richie to locate him?
He uses his mum's earring.
What is in the family vault?
It's like all of their precious memories, like banjos and dog bones and
So
stuff.
I'll accept sentimental value items. And the final question, what year was Richie Rich released?
Oh, fuck. 95?
Off. It was 94, I'm afraid.
But still,
Oh,
Well done,
close.
Mo.
Not bad, mate. That was 5 out of 6, I believe.
that was a good effort.
My girlfriend's Argentinian, so whenever we watch films now, she tells me the Argentinian name. And Richie Rich is called Ricky Ricon.
Oh,
Oh, very nice.
Ricky Ricon.
Well, Jack Barry there, smashing a Richie Rich quiz. I thought I'd test him, and he's done very well, actually.
Yeah.
Has anyone else been watching anything of late?
well, you know, a lot of time on my hands, obviously. The lockdown continues.
Of course.
I caught a bit of it. It's funny he's talking about drugs there at the start with your weed bong, etc.
Yeah.
Golden bong, because I watched a bit of a stoner flick, as you might call
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
And I've actually got, I could play the trailer for you if you like.
That'd be fantastic, yeah.
Okay, well, here's the trailer for the movie I watched this week.
This summer, 2 best buds have the hangover from hell.
Dude, I feel like my head's been run over by a dump truck. What the hell did we do last night?
Now, they've lost their favorite fish.
I love that fish.
This sucks more than anything has ever sucked in the history of things sucking.
And to find their aquatic acquaintance, they have to relive the wildest night of their lives. And find out what they did,
We got high.
who they did,
Mom? Ew!
and why they did it before their night catches up with them.
Aren't you those 2 bozos from last night? The assholes with the fish.
You know what we did with the fish, officer?
You don't remember? Maybe this'll refresh your memory. Hook 'em, book 'em, and cook 'em. Now.
A high-stakes fish out of water laugh riot sure to make a splash this summer.
What was that called, Ryan?
That was called Dude, Where's My Carp?
Oh, that does.
That does so
sound
good.
good.
Yeah, it was
And
good. It was.
Hey, Ryan, I'll tell you what, mate. I would love to actually borrow that. Have you got it on DVD or tape or something?
Yeah, I've got it on VHS. Got me the old
Oh,
VHS
good.
player out. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't do anything else. It's better quality for me. That
It is.
Yeah.
It's got like a texture to it, hasn't it? Like
Yeah.
you feel like
it's
it's
great.
Vinyl.
Yes, it
taste
is.
it.
It's the vinyl of
You can
the
taste the
video.
film. Stinks.
It's got
The
quality.
spices.
It's going to
the
come back.
spices.
Vinyl's come back. I'm waiting for the VHS resurgence. You know, I'm keeping my
Now-
player because it's going to be worth something.
Jack, you've probably seen it in the tabloids. You've probably seen it online, clickbait, no doubt. But on Seldom Differ's Terrible Features, we have a features wheel, obviously, because how else are you meant to choose your features?
Yeah.
It's currently in the studio with Ryan. He looks after it at the moment, especially during these lockdown times.
Yep.
He's got a lot of time on his hands to do stuff with it.
The
So,
Guardian.
Ryan, shall we reveal that wheel?
Let's have a look at it, shall we? It's under a cloth as always, but I can
yeah, well,
just
you
take
gotta
that,
keep it.
take that cloth off it. And there we are. What do you think?
Wow.
Oh, beautiful.
It's nice, isn't it?
Beautiful wheel.
Were you expecting to see something like that in real life, Jack? Is it weird seeing it in real life?
Yeah, it's different from how I pictured it in my head. Yeah.
Everyone says that.
Yeah. It definitely. I had a different image.
You've been on other podcasts, right? Am I right in thinking that?
I've been on a couple of podcasts.
Have you ever seen a podcast feature wheel like this one?
Nothing like that one. No, nothing. I mean, and I've seen some feature wheels in my time.
Of course,
yeah,
many
but
podcasts
nothing
have
like
them. But
What's weird is, Ryan, I'm looking at the feature wheel, but I appear to be looking at myself in some kind of mirror type. What's going on there?
I've mirrored it head to toe, right to left, back to front. It's a sort of a mirror ball effect. And if I just turn this light on here and give it a little spin there, not a proper spin, but you can see the mirror ball sort of disco effect.
Very nice.
Very Kylie, very...
Kylie.
Very Kylie, very tricky.
Very late night, it's a bit of a late night special, this, as well as the Jack Barry special.
Very bath salts.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, so not the kind from Lush.
And as always, Ryan, I always got to ask this because I always enjoy seeing what you've done to the wheel, but obviously there's always that concern: does it still work?
Yeah, there's a lot of weight being added, of course, with the weight of the glass from the mirror, but all 100% sustainable glass. That's
as always,
important.
Right? As always,
100% recycled glass because it is 2021.
Yeah, if you were any woker, you'd have trouble sleeping.
Yes. I can't sleep. We know that.
That's it.
Ever woke?
Yeah. It's actually a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
No, let's spin that wheel, right? Let's see what feature we're going to play first.
It's spinning. It works.
Dazzling. It's dazzling me.
Look at that. Glimmering, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
What's it going to land on?
Genuine or Johnuine?
Oh.
Genuine or Johnuine?
Oh, very interesting.
Shoot. Am I right in thinking we've played this since we reset the scores, Series 2?
No, we have not. This
Have
is
we
the
not?
first time.
Didn't we have one game? No?
I don't think so.
Maybe we haven't. No, maybe you're right.
Right,
Maybe this is
right.
the first one back. So
I might be wrong. I apologise.
all our
So this is
trousers are equal. All our trousers are on at this point. All our
The
pants
slate's
are on,
been
should I say.
clean, Jack, of the previous points for Johnuine or Genuine, and we'll go to John now, and he'll talk you through the game.
I will, but first of all, let's listen to the jingle. It sort of explains it. We're playing Genuine or Johnuine. Is it matter of fact or is it actual crap? Genuine or Johnuine. He's got a fact addiction or is it all fiction? Genuine or Johnuine. His lies are true, but is he lying to you? Genuine or Johnuine. He lies, he lies, he lies, he lies, he lies.
He lies.
He does.
I do lie.
Hope that's cleared it up, Jack.
Yeah, I feel pretty. I've been illuminated.
Okay,
Not just
so
by the wheel.
well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's setting off my epilepsy. No end. But what's going to happen is I'm going to give you 3 facts, 2 of which are genuine, 1 of which is Johnuine, and you just got to tell me. You guys are going to work together, and you're going to try and suss out which one you think is the Johnuine fact. At the minute, the slate's been reset. So yeah,
All to play for.
All to play for. Let's get this first one of the series.
What's that, Ryan?
Well, just as I've always said,
Oh yeah.
you were just saying that we work together on this, me and Matt and Jack, and that's actually the thing I like most about this game is that I get to work together with you, Matthew, and today with you, Jack, of course.
Oh well, that's very sweet, Ryan. It's so sweet. It's black treacle.
Yeah.
When you leave that for years, and it becomes thick and sweet, and even sweeter almost.
Yeah.
That's you.
Oh, Matthew. And to me, you are, do you know a pot of honey? When you leave that in the cupboard over time and it crystallizes, it becomes almost like hard.
Almost like jewelry.
It's almost like jewelry, but edible jewelry, and it is still delicious and so sweet. That's what you are to me, Matthew. And I suppose, Jack.
Jack,
Yeah,
mate.
that was incredibly sweet. It's
You
like...
No, listen to me. I want to say something to you, Jack. I want to say something, and I mean this.
I got some things to say.
Working with you on this feature today is, you you get a marshmallow on the end of a stick I think Happy Families do it apparently, and they toast the marshmallow.
Yeah. When
you've toasted it a little too much and you think, I've ruined it, but then you take it off and you crack it open and there's a hot, sweet goo inside. That's what it's like. That's what you are, Jack, to me.
That's what you are to me too, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'd say working with you two is like a newborn baby in a crotch, and it's having its face licked by a lamb. Of a baby lamb, and then the two of them are encased in honey, like Han Solo in Star Wars when he's frozen, and it's just like a tableau of sweetness.
That's beautiful.
That's very sweet, John. I hope you don't feel left out, mate.
Do you know what? I don't. I just love. I love these. I love that you work together and you feel so much for each other. It's a really good way to express it.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
God.
Right,
I'm nervous again. I'm nervous.
All of them are 100% true.
Yes.
All right, number one. In Only Fools and Horses, the character Trigger's real name is Colin Bell.
Okay.
All right. Got
the actor or the character?
No, the character.
The character, right.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, but that would be a rubbish one.
I was thinking, yeah.
Okay. Fact number two. These next two are slightly long-winded. Bear with me. Red Bull gives you wings. So let me go into this for a second. So basically, the active ingredient in Red Bull is taurine, right? You know that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you consume what Johns Hopkins called a prolonged and nearly fatal dose of taurine, you would get what's called thoracic keratosis, which means an excess of keratin, which is what bird feathers is made of and hair is made of. Right, and thoracic keratosis is on the back of your upper back. It doesn't mean it gives you like thick hair, but I don't mean a lot of hair. I mean it gives you thicker, weird hairs.
This seems absolutely bizarre.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like the stump of a wing.
Oh, that's horrible.
Is it like a growth of like a sort of a bone or something?
Keratosis is there's a few kinds of keratosis. One, you know, the one where the guy's hands are like trees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's I can't remember, but this is thoracic keratosis from taurine poisoning, basically, which causes black, thick hairs. Apparently.
Wow. Okay.
And the third one is that China is breeding giant pigs as heavy as polar bears. Apparently, there's a pork shortage.
Are they going to fight some elephants?
They're getting ready for war, aren't they, with America?
There's a pork shortage in China, in Guangxi province of southern China, and a farmer has bred a pig that weighs 1,100 pounds, which is the weight of a polar bear.
Now, wasn't there a movie that came out called Okja?
Yeah, it was Korean.
Korean movie, was it? I think was it like co-written by John Ronson, I want to say, weirdly. Like, I think he wrote the English translation or something like that. Anyway, I don't know.
I remember.
It had a lot of English people in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good film.
It was good.
My point was, I think in that film, wasn't the storyline about breeding these sort of huge, almost pig-like creatures for meat?
Yes.
Which makes me think that perhaps either John's got the idea from the movie or the person who wrote the movie got the idea from life. Doesn't help us greatly, but...
or the farmer who's making the pig got the idea from the movie.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's also could be true, yeah.
Third permutation.
As in the other way around. Yeah, completely ignoring the moral of the story and going, that's actually a good idea. We should breed some massive pigs.
Turned off 10 minutes before the end of the film going, what a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. If they've got a meat shortage. Okay, so it was the first...
I've heard that.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard it too, but I don't feel like
I've heard it. And keratin is a thing that's in...
It's nails, in horns as well, isn't it? It's in the rhino horns. That's just
rhino horns. Yeah, rhino horns. Exactly.
There's enough true science in that one. I'll give him that.
No, well, you've got to think of... Okay, so this is an advertising campaign that have come up with the idea Red Bull gives you wings. The idea that they've thought, oh, well, it's because if you drink enough Tory,
I'll say this.
A horrible growth on your back.
A very unfortunate coincidence.
Right.
Yeah, it's an incredible own goal from them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of does actually, but not in a good way.
That stinks to me at the moment.
Yeah.
It smells as bad as the growth would on the back.
I'm just trying to think of like another advertising slogan that could have gone that wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it turns out it's true. Like,
right.
Pepper Army, there's a little bit of animal in all of us. And it turned out it had fetuses of cats in Pepper Army. And people who ate too much Pepper Army actually had little cats growing inside them.
And it was some loophole that it wasn't false advertising.
Yeah, they were like, we really fucked it.
The thing is, the Pepper Army, the slogan, it's a bit of an animal. It's like,
it's a bit of an
it's
animal.
just saying.
Oh, that's true. That is true. It's meat.
It is meat, so yeah.
It's a bit of an.
Spicy for you.
It doesn't say what animal or how much.
It could be anything, couldn't it, looking at it? My brother was telling me he was at the Sheffield United game once and there was a big Pepper Army promotion on.
He's a user.
A Pepper Army promotion. And they'd given everyone free Pepper Armies, and there was also, like, they would just left them on the seats at the football match, and there was also a Pepper Army man, like a mascot type character coming round. And I mean, what's going to happen? What do you think might have happened at the football match?
They've tossed all the Pepper Armies.
Everyone in that stadium didn't care about eating the Pepper Army. I mean, it would have been nice, but what's nicer is en masse tossing the Pepper Army to the Pepper Army man.
Not a single Pepper Army was eaten that day.
No.
I think the United fans take it as an insult because of the whole pig connotations, the piggies, and that won't go down well. Just to go back to this Only Fools and Horses, Tom Bell, did you say?
Colin Bell.
Oh, I was going to say he's a comedian.
Colin Bell.
Colin Bell is the character's name.
Yeah, it's his real name. Trigger's real name is Colin Bell.
Is there a good reason why he's called Trigger? Because, for example, there's a guy who used to work with my dad who was known as Trigger, and it was like a nickname. But his nickname was directly connected to the Only Fools and Horses Trigger.
Yeah.
And in the world of Only Fools and Horses doesn't exist, so it can't be that.
You can't got it. That would be a great paradox.
True.
It can't be called Trigger because he's stupid, because the guy called Trigger on Only Fools and Horses is stupid because he is the guy called Trigger on Only Fools and Horses. But John, you're telling me there is a reason.
Have you seen Dark on Netflix?
No.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it's a very good German time travel show.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But there's essentially there's like one of the characters, she's mother. Her daughter is also her mum.
Yeah,
because they travelled back in time.
Oh God!
So I'm imagining like a Trigger-esque paradox where he can somehow be named after himself.
Yeah, the Trigger paradox. We should pitch that.
Yeah,
it could be.
But you're saying there is a reason, John. I think you said.
Yeah, in one of the early episodes, Rodney asks Del. He says, "Why do they call him Trigger?" He says, "It's because he looks like an horse." And there's a joke about it's because he's got a long face.
Right.
Do horses get called triggers? What?
Well, there was oh God, I looked this up. Fucking hell, there was a TV
someone has
show.
A dog. Someone has a horse called Trigger.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Roy Rogers, I think, had a TV show where he has a horse called Trigger.
Yeah, I feel like in Phoenix Nights there was a horse came in once and it was called Trigger. I think it's
and there
kind
was
of
a
name
horse
for a
ridden
horse
called Trigger.
Yeah.
It's like Fido.
Right.
I feel like this could be one of them where John's kind of put in this ridiculous Red Bull one, and that's true, and then he's just put a little Only Fools and Horses, which just seems like, well, I mean,
it could be easily,
Maybe he's trying to swear. Jack, I mean, we've got to come to a conclusion here. Could go through this all day, but have you got any idea what you think the Johnuine fact is?
I really don't know. I think it might be Trigger. I feel
Really?
like,
Oh, good. Okay.
but I don't know.
It's tough as always, John.
When you said smirking away when you said that.
My inclination.
Go on, Ryan. What's your inclination?
Go on, Ryan.
No, it must be Red Bull, actually. I don't
That's
know why I
that's
said
my
that.
inclination,
Yeah.
Jack. Yeah, the Red Bull one. But I mean, it might not be. It just seems too like, Red Bull gives you wings. Maybe I'll make up this fact that it causes a growth on your back. I don't know. It's like, what?
Yeah, it felt believable, but yeah, it's
pretty smelly. It's pretty smelly. Oh no,
And
John's face is dropping now.
And
I can read the face there. I'm getting a reading off you, John. I'm getting a reading. I probably just would say that the Red Bull gives you wins is a Johnuine fact. Are we happy to go with that?
Yeah, and I believe the pig one wholeheartedly. So I'd be surprised.
I can't
if it's
wait to see that pig.
Do you? Yeah,
I
do, but I don't. It's mad, and so maybe it's.
We think the Red Bull fact is a Johnuine fact, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can tell you that Trigger's real name was Colin Bell.
Yes.
And I can also tell you that China is breeding pigs as big as polar bears. Congratulations, guys.
Well,
Correct. That takes it all.
So I flew too close to the sun.
With your stubs.
Well, no, well, great. I mean, and this trio of sweet boys have worked together,
Well done, lads.
and
Well
we've
done.
had John's pants right
I'm
down
proud of you.
on this
I'm
occasion.
proud of you, lads.
So,
No, I'm glad. This happened last year, though. First series, we started off strong, and then you overtook us by weeks in. So you never know, but a good start. And thank you so much, Jack, for helping us get to the bottom of that.
My pleasure.
Johnuine
I can't
fact.
wait to Google that pig.
Oh yeah. Have you seen a picture of it, John?
I haven't actually.
Oh wow!
It was a last minute addition. I just thought it was amazing.
I'm going to Google the hell out of that pig.
Yeah,
that is insane. Well, thank you very much, John. And I think we should spin the wheel. It's getting late. We should keep spinning that wheel. See what features we got.
Pints Win Prizes.
So that was Pints Win Prizes, but Jack was just saying as the wheel spun there to us that we didn't. We're very rudely.
I just thought you might have wanted to know that I'd been to see a good film recently.
Yeah, we didn't ask him, did we? We didn't ask him. We always want to know what people have been up to, what films have been watching.
Yeah, no, I was plumbing into some of the old classics on Netflix. And it was a good film, actually. It's with Oscar winner Matthew McConaughey was in it.
Yeah,
but it was one of his older films, like before he was like an Oscar winner when he was like a bit crazy. It was definitely filmed pre 2005 because it was quite predominantly set in a supermarket that doesn't exist in the UK anymore.
Right. Okay.
But it was good. It was like an industrial espionage film where he. Matthew McConaughey, he basically he's trying to steal corporate secrets from Pucker Pies.
Right. Okay.
And he, as he's escaping from the office, they follow him into this. One of the agents, the mascot from Pucker Pies, like follows him into this supermarket, and basically McConaughey has to escape from this mascot.
What was that called? That called?
It's called How to Lose a Pie in Safeways.
That does sound good. Doesn't that sound good?
Safeways.
That does sound good.
That does sound good.
I'd recommend it.
Have you got it on? We only watch it on VHSs, unfortunately.
I've got it on Betamax.
Even better.
I suppose even better. You can really smell that film, can't you, when you're slipping it in?
Yeah, there's a lot of spice.
I'm sorry we didn't ask you what you're watching before, Jack.
Right.
It's always good to know, and that does sound like a smasher.
Pints Win Prize as well. We've not heard this in a while, have we?
I think maybe some time.
It might have been even the Halloween episode when it was Pints of Blood, if you remember that one.
Of course.
Of course, Pints of Blood win prizes. I suppose, Jack, best way to do this, mate, is let's play the jingle, and hopefully that'll...
Is it a jingle?
Yeah.
Good.
It sums it up quite well.
What can I get you, pal?
Pint of lager, please.
No problem.
Hey, I wonder how many pints of lager you can fit in a bath.
Well, there's a way to find out.
Oh yeah, how's that then?
By playing
Pints Win Prizes! All you have to do is guess how many pints you can fit in a particular vessel, and the closest wins a prize. So remember, as the lager rises, Pints Win Prizes! With your host, Matt Skillington.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be back in the studio playing Pints Win Prizes with such a special guest, Jack Barry. Welcome to the show. Let's meet today's players. Ryan Howes from Sheffield. What's your name? Where do you come from?
My name's Ryan Howes and I'm from Sheffield.
And John Patrick from Sheffield. What's your name? Where do you come from?
My name's John Patrick. I'm from Sheffield.
And Jack Barry from Oxford. What's your name? Where do you come from, pal?
My name's Jack Barry. I'm from Oxford.
And Jack, my producer, tells me you have a rather amusing story about a pet hamster.
That's right. When I grew up in Oxford, I had a pet hamster, and he got into Oxford, and he's now the Chancellor of the university.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Jack, it's your first game today. It's first time in the studio, first time playing Pints Win Prizes. It's quite simple. I simply give you a vessel, and I just want to know how many pints of lager can you fit in that vessel? And you will have the time it takes for me to down this pint to give me your answer. The closest wins a prize. And today's vessel is an ostrich egg.
An ostrich egg?
Ostrich egg, if it was to be hollow when you put the lager in. Here we go. I'm done. I've finished drinking that pint of lager. I'm getting slower these days in my old age. So, before I started downing that pint of lager, I asked you, how many pints of lager can you fit in an ostrich egg? Of course, hollowed out. That'd be stupid if I was asking you for a full egg. So, we all get an answer?
Yeah, it's one of the smaller vessels we've ever had, I would say.
Yeah. It is.
It's confusing.
We've had some... what have we had in the past? Can you remember?
Bus engines, chip pans.
It was like a
deep
fish
fat
and
fry,
chip shop.
Industrial deep fat fry.
Industrial.
Have you done all of these then?
Wheelie bin we had.
Yeah, wheelie bin.
Wheelie bin, yeah.
But this is small.
Jack, as you are the guest on today's show, I would like you to go first, mate. How many pints do you think you can fit? Pints of lager, sorry. Can you fit in an ostrich egg?
I'm trying to imagine an ostrich egg. It can't be a lot. I'd say 2.
2 pints, okay.
2 pints.
And John Patrick, how many pints are you saying, buddy?
I'm going up quite a bit higher than that. I just think because it's circular. I think it's quite wide. I've put 13.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. It is lager, though. You know, it's not water, for example.
It is lager, you know, and also there's a heavy bottom, isn't there? And it'd be like a challenge, wouldn't it, going to the pub and down this ostrich egg and we'll give you the...
It's like you can get like a yard of ale. They should do ostrich eggs of ale for stouts. You know.
Ryan, how many pints can you fit in a bloody ostrich egg? Jack said 2, John said 13, and Ryan is saying...
I'm saying 4.5.
4.5 pints.
Yeah.
4 for the lads and half...
For whoever wants it.
The lads as well, you know.
Yeah, for the lads as well.
For the lad who's driving.
He's driving.
Yeah,
He's up early in the morning to take his wife or husband. 2020 to work or not work. Door office.
To look after the kids at home.
Yeah, it could be stay at home.
Stay at home.
Well,
house husband.
Yeah.
Does that.
That's absolutely acceptable.
Okay, I
completely
can
reasonable.
reveal that one of you is closer than the other 3. The other 2. I can reveal that one of you is only 0.199692 worth of a pint off. The answer is 2.199692 pints.
Oh, he's done it.
What was I thinking?
Jack. 13 pints.
My original thought was 2. I can't be that.
It was like the fact of you bringing it to the table made me think it must have some some special volume to it. It must have something about it. But no, just
Jack,
what you think it is,
mate.
Yeah. Well done, instinct, Jack, and that's the way to go.
Usually it's to the point to 2 pints or it's half pint.
Yeah.
Like with that would be 2 pints really. So I mean, to be fair to you, Jake, you got the nail on the head there.
I'm pretty pleased.
Well, yeah. Jack, one of them was the Gunge tank from Get Your Own Back.
That's true.
Oh, no shit, really?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, that's always tough. So.
I got gunged recently.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
In the second series of Feel Good, I had to get gunged. And it was sort of living out a childhood dream, basically.
I'm jealous. We actually talk about gunge quite a lot on this podcast, so it would be nice to talk us through it.
I'd never encountered it before. I'd always been fascinated by it. It is just like water. I thought it was going to smell or taste. It tastes nothing, and it's just like slightly thicker than water.
Right.
But I had to get gunged like 3. They didn't like the take, so I had to get gunged like 3 times. And
so you had to clean yourself up?
Yeah, I had to have a shower, put on a fresh suit, get gunged again like 3 times.
We didn't talk about this before the show started, but I don't think it was in the podcast. You wear quite a specific suit covered in ganja leaves.
Yeah.
While you're playing your character in Feel Good, the character also called Jack Barry, the comedian.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have you got a wardrobe full of those weed suits like Mr. Bean does?
I have one of my own, but then they bought like 4 of them for the show, that I could get gunged multiple times, and then we like rinsed through all of them basically.
It was from above your head. You weren't sliding, being propelled by a slide into a gunge tank. It was over your head, the classic way.
And it was movie magic of TV. There wasn't like a tank. It was just a bloke on a ladder with a bucket who was just pouring it. And one of the takes, I sort of looked up and he poured it perfectly into my mouth. So there's you sort of see it like ballooning out of my mouth, like just like into the bowl and out again. And that one, I didn't want to swallow after it. I kept on spitting because it's like, but it got everywhere. Like on the way home, I found like a little reservoir on it in my ears.
Just waking up with like green on your pillow, going, "What's wrong with me?"
Yeah, exactly. Like flubber.
What colour was the gunge, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh yeah,
it was green. It was green. Yeah, it was bright green. Yeah.
So we can see that in the second series of Feel Good, which is not out yet, but the first series is all available on Netflix still, right?
It should be. It should be going.
Well.
Yeah, it should be. It's on Channel 4, but it should be going on Netflix soon. And then the second series will be out in March.
It's a highly recommended series.
But I was going to say that Pints Win Prizes actually reminded me of a game that me and my friends invented. When I was a student in Leeds, we one of us read that. One of us read somewhere that apparently the average adult male has 8 pints of blood in his body. So we said, if you drink 8 pints of lager and don't go for a wee, then you'll be half man, half beer. And so that was the name of the game. So the day I finished my degree, we played half man, half beer, and I was the only one who managed it. I drank 8 pints. I didn't have a piss. 8 pints
without having a piss.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell!
Fucking hell!
We'll have to get you back on the show, Jack, and we could just play that for a full hour.
The last couple were a real struggle. I'm not gonna lie.
What was your technique? Did you just try and rush it? And get it done with?
At first, it was like, take it slow, but then like people started dropping off, and it was like, we're going to have to pick up the pace a bit here. So like the last 2 were done pretty quickly.
How long did it take basically for you to?
I think it took like an hour and a half. I think it wasn't actually that long.
That's a lot of booze.
It's quite quick to drink. 8
I wee
pints.
so much. It's like I don't.
But it's once you do the first wee.
Exactly. It's once you break that seal. And actually, once I'd had the 8. I wasn't even that desperate. I was like, I kind of reached like a Nirvana plane.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I like broke through, like my third eye opened and I was like...
Yeah.
Did you think about having like 1 extra pint so you were actually more lager than man?
Yes. Predominantly beer, yeah. I was scared about what might happen. I might never come back.
I'm genuinely, 1, impressed, and 2... That's great. I just love the concept.
Such different points there, Matt.
Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking half man, half booze. It's right up my street. This is perfect for terrible features.
Yeah. It was all about the marketing. It was like, I think we almost came up with the slogan before we came up with the concept.
Do you think you could do it again at this age, older?
I don't know. Not after a year of lockdown. I think my tolerance for booze has plummeted now. I think. I don't know. I can give it a go. I'd love to try.
If
someone can sponsor me.
We'll talk to your lawyers about selling the concept to us, half man, half beer.
And before we move on, one last question about gunge: hot or cold?
Cold, very cold.
Right.
Thought
so. That's what I was worried about.
Guns.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Straight through the suit to my pants. That was what I found weirdest about it. I took my trousers off and my pants were soaked with sort of sodden with gunge.
God.
Which I wasn't expecting. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Sodden with gunge.
Sodden with gunge. I think that's the name of the... I know it's going to be special guest Jack Barry, but that's a great name for the episode, isn't it?
My biography, maybe.
Jack Barry bracket Sodden with gunge. We could call the episode that.
We could do what we want, I suppose, isn't it? It's our podcast.
Future Ryan here. Just to say, in all the excitement of the gunge chat and the half man, half beer game, we forgot to award Jack his prize. You know, Pints Win Prizes. What is the prize? So here's what Jack won.
You've won an 1869 steam-powered, coal-fired manipulator. After manually masturbating hundreds of hysterical women, some doctors started to get hand cramps. To save time and energy, American physician George Taylor patented the manipulator. A motorized padded table with a hole and throbbing ball in the middle. So, after a couple of pints, you can have a couple of steam-powered, coal-fired orgasms. Brought to you courtesy of Pints Win Prizes.
We'll be getting that sent to you ASAP. ASAP, as soon as possible, Jack, so you can start enjoying that prize. Back to the podcast. Yeah.
Ryan, let's spin the wheel, mate. We should spin on.
Back to the feature.
Okay.
Back to the feature.
We've played this once before, a couple of episodes ago, but it was a brand new feature a couple of episodes back. So I don't think you'll have heard it, Jack, because we've not released this episode yet. Okay. It's called Back to the Feature. There is a jingle, and I think, if you listen carefully, the jingle will explain all. Okay.
If I say 1, 2, 3, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3.
God, it says.
And if I reverse it, it sounds like this. Here, with, no. And if I say that, it sounds like this. Here, with, no. And if I reverse that, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do this with movie quotes, and you can guess what they are, I hope.
Okay. Does that all make sense?
Love it.
I'm gonna. So I'm going to play you some. In fact, do you have a pen and paper, Jake? Maybe you need a pen and paper.
Oh, okay. I can make notes on my phone. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
And how the game works is, as the jingle explained, I've learnt some movie quotes in reverse. I've recorded them in reverse, and now I'm going to play them back in. What's the opposite to reverse? Forwards.
Forwards.
I'm going to play them back in forwards.
Yeah.
And you've got to tell me, can you tell me specifically, word for word, what am I saying? What am I trying to say?
The quote.
What is the quote?
Yeah.
And for a bonus point, can you tell me what movie the quote is from?
Great.
Quite simple, I think. I think we would just crack on maybe with the first one and...
Let's do it.
You'll pick it up as we play, I assume. Okay. What am I saying, and what movie is it from?
You have your own McCoys. No way.
Okay.
Fuck.
Would you like to hear that again?
Yes, please.
Yes.
You have your own McCoys. No way.
One more time, Ray.
I've got it.
John's got it.
You have your own McCoys. No way.
Okay. We'll move on because there might be a clue in the second one. They're sort of linked in a way, and it might help you to know that. Basically, there's an actor from the first in the second, and there's an actor from the second in the third.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a little extra little hot tip for you guys. Number 2.
This is my house. I have to defend it.
Okay. I'll give you that.
This is my house. I have to defend it.
Okay. Ready for number 3?
I'm not smoking it. I'm breathing it.
I think this is quite a tricky one, this last one, but...
Sorry, Ryan, that last one again, please.
I'm not smoking it. I'm breathing it.
Okay. It's tricky, that one, I would say. But remember the rule. Remember the tip. Not the rule, sorry. Remember the clue. There's an actor from the first, in the second, and the second in the third. That's how it works. Would you like to hear any of them again? Would anyone like to hear any of them again?
Number 1, please.
Yeah, that's the one I'm really struggling with.
You have your own McCoys. No way.
Okay. Maybe a few more moments, and then we're going to go through the answers.
Every time it starts, and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. And then it gets about halfway through, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's dropped off.
Oh, dear.
They're tricky. In a way,
they're all films, Ryan, aren't they?
They're all films, and in a way, this is a challenge on me as well. You know, I'm asking you the questions, but it also kind of depends on how well I've learned the reverse.
Oh.
I've learned them in reverse. Okay.
I thought that was excellent delivery, Ryan.
Thank you, John.
It's one of them, innit? Once you hear it, what it meant to sound.
So I've gone a bit more obscure with the film quotes this time because I think in the last episode, first time I tried it, the quotes were so obvious. It was like it was almost too easy, I would say.
Okay.
So
I was worried you were going to do this.
So let's go through them. Okay. Number 1, which was this.
You have your own McCoys. No way.
Now, Jack, what do you think that was? What do you think I'm saying there?
I have no idea. You have your own, and then that was where I lost it. It sounds like Maha Gandalf's No Way.
Oh, it's close.
Oh, it is close.
I think I know it.
I think you might have it, John. Do you have any ideas, Matt?
No, I got that as well. Just the you have your own, and then No Way at the end.
John, give him the answer. And you can give the film as well if you like.
It's you have your own McDonald's? No way.
Oh, Richie Rich.
Richie
Yeah.
Rich.
That's right.
Oh, shoot.
Here's how it should have sounded.
You have your own McDonald's? No way. Not bad.
And after I
Right.
did so well in the Richie Rich quiz.
I know it's made for you, but...
Ryan, can you play it again? The reverse version, the question, so I can hear.
You have your own McCoys. No way.
Very hard to do D's in reverse, it turns out.
I should have got that.
What I enjoy about the quote here is the line after.
You have your own McDonald's? No way. Not bad.
And she's like, not bad.
Yeah. I guess we can be friends.
Yeah. Also, that fact of like a kid having McDonald's being like, that's so 90s, isn't it? That just would not.
It really was. It was iconic. When you were a kid, you were like, oh, he really is living the dream.
Yeah, he's got a McDonald's in his house. Okay, number 2, which was...
This is my house. I have to defend it.
Jack, any idea?
Well, so I'm pretty sure you're saying, this is my house, I have to defend it.
Yes, that's correct.
Which I think, is that from Signs? Is it Signs with Mel
Signs,
Gibson?
it's not Signs, but you do get a point.
Oh.
Matt, can you tell me what movie that's from?
So I said, this is my house, I have to defend it. And I have put Up.
Up, okay. And John?
I've also put, this is my house, I have to defend it, from Home Alone.
from Home Alone.
Home Alone.
And here's how it should have sounded.
This is my house. I have to defend it.
I watched that recently as well.
Well, I'd only noticed on your Instagram that you'd watch Richie Rich, so... That was the Jack Barry research.
You were like, well, I'm going to see if he really did watch it. Because people lie on their Instagrams, don't they? They lie about their lives and they make their lives look better than they actually are, you know?
Yeah.
Is he really living this dream of watching Richie Rich, or is he just bragging?
Is he just bragging?
He's just an influencer who says that he's watching Richie Rich. Yeah. He watched Richie Rich, but did he hear Richie Rich?
That's it.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay,
I've done
final
really
one.
bad.
Well, you're on the same as
I think
I've
I've smashed the last one though. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, this might bring it back then, because I'm not sure if John and Matt would get this last one.
I'm not smoking it. I'm breathing it.
So you think you've got this, Jack? What do you think I say?
It's I'm not smoking, I'm breathing, and it's from Cool Runnings.
He's right. Matt, did you have anything for that?
I put... no, I put I'm not smoking it, I'm breathing it. So no points there for me.
No, not quite. And John, did you put anything?
Yeah, I put... What film did you put, Matt?
Note.
Oh. I put I'm not smoking, I'm breathing. I put Blues Brothers.
Oh, okay. Nice guess. And here's how it should have sounded. It was Cool Rings. Well done, Jack. And I think you got the words there, John, didn't you? Pretty much correct.
Yeah.
Bang on, should I say bang on correct?
I did get bang on, yeah.
Say goodnight. What you smoking?
I'm not smoking. I'm breathing.
Because it's so cold, you see.
Yeah.
And that's in that scene.
I always like that Bill Hicks joke about when it's so cold and he's smoking and he doesn't know when to stop exhaling because it's so cold. Until he passes out. Well done, Ryan. I mean, it's an impressive game. And I got...
Thanks.
To Howard, our scorekeeper, I got 1 point.
You got one. I think, Jack, am I right thinking you got 3?
3, yeah.
And John, you actually, you
Got 5.
You got 5. So congratulations, John. Basically, last series.
Yeah.
Last series, Jack, John absolutely walked away with the crown of terrible features.
He absolutely did.
So
just so you make a point there, Ryan. Jack, you've been in a series now. You've been in 2 series now. Would you refer to it if you were talking about it? Would you say, "Oh, the second season's out next week," or would you say the second series? How would you?
It's I sometimes say season by accident, but it's one of those sort of creeping Americanisms, isn't it? That I don't like.
It does get you sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I was watching the American Office, say, I would refer to it as season 6.
Yeah. It feels grander, though, doesn't it, to say, "Oh, I'm in the second season." It's like, have you heard of winter?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always say March, which isn't even a season.
Well, I feel like as a kid, I always thought seasons were just longer. Like a series is 6 episodes of like a British series, and in America they do 24 episodes.
Yeah, they do so many episodes
per season.
Yeah, it is.
But
it is going to last for the whole of spring.
And you'll see through spring.
Yeah, rather than the 6 weeks that you're getting out of an English series.
Yeah, exactly. And often with those, like for example, the American Office, every season does start. I think it starts in summer. They miss off. No, sorry, it starts in autumn, and they do Thanksgiving, Halloween, or Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas specials, and then they kind of break at the summer. So it's not a season so much as it is 3 seasons, but there's so many episodes.
It's like a school year basically. Yeah.
But it is changing because, for example, the show that you're in, Feel Good, in a way is that a joint production with America? Is that right?
Yeah, it was.
Something.
The first series was with Channel 4 and Netflix, and they sort of co-produced. But it was still only 6 episodes. It was like a sort of English,
proper British.
Somehow, when it's on Channel 4, I'd call it a series. Same show. Channel 4, I'm calling it a series. On Netflix, I'm watching a season.
Yeah.
It's true. We should mention as well, Mae Martin, obviously,
of course,
star of the show. You could say, after you, Jack, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's fair to call her the star. Yeah,
big We're big fans of May. In the show, her mother is played by Lisa Kudrow, or Lisa, how would you pronounce it? Did you ever get an opportunity to be on set when she was about?
No, regrettably not. I had no scenes or any in either of the series. I think I was in on the same day, like one time on the second series, but I still didn't encounter her.
I suppose it was trickier with the lockdown, wasn't it? I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And especially because she's such a big star, it was like if she gets COVID, then the whole thing's kaput. It's
weird, isn't it? Like one of the friends, it's one of them. She's like a Beatle, isn't she? One of being like a Friends member is being like a Beatle kind of.
Yeah, completely.
Like it really holds that. Oh my God, you're in Friends.
I was listening to a podcast where there were some guys in there who'd been. I think that maybe they were in Groundlings in America. And I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but basically Lisa Kudrow and these guys who aren't very big celebrities were in the same sort of improv group together, but like years apart. And they said that she was just really genuinely very nice to them. Yeah. And although she's like mega star, she was like, oh yeah, great, cool. And they all just hung out together. So apparently she's very nice.
But May said she's lovely. The closest I got to her is in my contract on the first series. They sent me the contract and it said, when you're filming, we'll be filming in Manchester and everyone will be staying at this hotel. Apart from Lisa Kudrow, who will be staying at this much nicer hotel. and that was enshrined in my contract. But she's incredibly nice. Yeah. But yeah, there was one thing that was, I mean, I hope I can tell this story. I'm sure it's fine. I think it's...
On reflection, if you can't, let us know. We can always put it out.
I think it's a good bit of showbiz. There's one character, there's a guy from... The Big Bang Theory in the second series. He's called John Ross Bowie, who's a really nice guy, and he's in the second series. And when we did the table read for the second series, we were all on it, and then he said there was a point where he sort of said, "Oh, hi Lisa, good to see you. I don't know if you remember, we did a sketch together for the Video Music Awards a couple of years ago, and we worked, but you might not remember." And then she sort of went, "Oh no, I don't remember, sorry." And it completely shot him down, and it was like deathly silent, awkward on this Zoom call, and it was really awkward. And then May said that a couple of days later she had a phone call with Lisa, and Lisa Kudrow was like, "John's so funny," asking if I remember him. Of course I remember him. I've met him loads of times. And May was like, yeah, May was like, that was not clear at all. Like, it really seemed like you'd mugged him off. So, yeah.
I wonder if he realised.
She's had his pants down in front of all his mates.
It was really funny. In front of all the Netflix sort of execs on this Zoom call.
Oh, superb. I love that. I'd hate to have been in the Zoom call because I'd find that really difficult to watch unfold, but fantastic bloody stuff. Okay, Ryan, have we got time for another spin of the wheel?
We do not, but there might be time if we're quick to play a quick round of Who's at the Door.
Okay.
Do you fancy it? Do you fancy a game of Who's at the Door, Jack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Of course you do.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? It's a mystery.
Okay, lads, who is at the door this week? And listen, I'm going to go through. It's going to go through twice. So
okay,
listen. Who's at the door?
Quite a musical knock.
Week. Guys, who is at the door this week? I got to Ryan House. Has everybody got an answer in their heads? Has everyone got an answer in their heads? I can see. Actually, I might go to Jack first, actually. He is a friend of the family, friend of the show, guest, and will get an official Terrible Fan badge.
Oh, please.
Who is at the door this week?
It sounded quite rhythmic. So I'm thinking it was a drummer. So I'm going to say Ringo Starr.
Ooh. Ringo Starr's a good guess. It's a very good guess, actually. John Patrick. Who's at the door this week, buddy?
Yeah, I had similar thoughts, so I'm going to go for Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, right. Okay, interesting. Yeah, good guess. And Ryan?
Yeah, I was sort of in the same ballpark as Jack and John. I was thinking Chris Rock.
It's a big ballpark.
Humans.
Chris Rock. I can reveal, actually, I think I'd say Jack was the closest. Unfortunately, none of you got the correct answer, so they're going to have to stay outside the door today, but it was actually Annie Lennox who was at the door.
Oh, of course it was.
She was giving, maybe you know it now, hold on.
What was it?
No more I love yous.
Yes, it's obvious now. It's
obvious. So clear. So clear.
And
it hits you over the head when it comes out. Yeah.
Well, she can't come in. That's a shame. But it is a pandemic, and she shouldn't be coming in anyway. She
shouldn't, exactly. So even if you got it right, I wouldn't have bothered. Listen, Jack, I've got to say, the time has absolutely flown by because it's been a pleasure having you on the show. And may I add, by the way, Jack, this is our 50th anniversary today. It's our 50th podcast.
It is. We've not even mentioned that, have we?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And you made it a very special one. So thank you so much, Jack Barry. And you can you'll be seeing him on Feel Good Series 2 very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for having me. It's lovely.
It's not at all.
Thank you very much to, of course, good old-fashioned Ryan Howes over there, who's looking as gorgeous as ever. Thank you so much for being on the show.
That's all right. Thank you for having me, Matthew.
And goodbye, Sir John Patrick.
Thank you. Goodbye.
And I will leave you with this from our good friend of the family and friend of the show, Antonio Banderas.
In English, it's sausages. In Portuguese, it's salsichas. But there's no translation for terrible features. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Give us a Craig Charles good night, Jack.
Good night.
That's it.
Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. On the website Patreon, followed by .com// is the next bit. They seldom differ, and that's it. Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. Sign up to us and then pay us £1, £3, £5 or £10. Bonus podcasts worth the fuss, appreciated by us. And if you can't commit, don't worry about that, don't mention it. 'Cause you can pay us just one time using PayPal, and that's fine. Listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features with Matt Skillington, John Patrick and Ryan Howes. Intro and outro theme by Old. You can follow them at Old Music on Instagram. If you want to follow the boys at Seldom Differ, you can get them at Twitter at Seldom Differ, Instagram Seldom_Differ, and Facebook at Seldom Differ Comedy. You should also subscribe at Seldom Differ on YouTube. Thank you to Luke Collins at Appley Bridge Studio for his additional audio work. And thank you to all you Patreon subscribers. If you're interested in supporting us, then go to patreon.com/Seldom Differ. And there you can donate as little as £1 a month, that's 25p an episode, that's not too bad, to £3 plus a month, which will allow you access to all of our bonus material. Please do give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be unbelievably grateful. Thanks for listening.